We're out here today in a central Alberta wetland in the Trochu Three Hills region. Just having a look around. It's part of our wetland stewardship project with funding from ARDAR, funding from some of our registrant partners including Bayer, BASF, Syngenta. What we're looking at is the effectiveness of vegetative filter strips and how they can mitigate pesticide runoff into these sensitive and important ecosystems. And around me there's a number of different shorebirds, red-winged blackbirds, you name it. That's mostly of what you hear. But there's also lots of flies, lots of beetles, lots of damselflies, dragonflies, you name it. We've seen some bee flies out here, horseflies too, of course. And you know, I've got the sweep net out. We've got some ladybugs, ladybird beetles, so to speak. You can see by the critters emptying out of my net. Lacewings, spiders, daddy longlegs, lots of different critters. Lacewings are pretty cool to see coming out. And of course your ladybird beetles. All of these play such an important role in keeping those crop pests in check. And you know, these wetlands are just prime habitat for pollinators and for beneficial insects. Part of this project is making sure that our farmers are using pesticides appropriately, making sure that we don't have any levels of chemistries that are above PMRA guidelines or PMRA reference values, so to speak, the toxic endpoints, whether they're chronic or acute toxicity endpoints. And so far in the first 2 years of water sampling, we haven't had a single hit over or a single detection above those chronic and acute endpoints. But you can see the birds out here are just loving it. There's one with really long legs. I don't know what bird that is, but it's beautiful, trotting across the top. And out here we're at a wetland that didn't go dry in 2021, so it'd be like a class 3 Stewart Cantrude. Really nice wetland. Hear all the sounds. Also important for farmers to realize the value of wetlands. I mean, we have a zero net loss policy here in Alberta, but we're still seeing wetlands being taken off of the landscape. We're hoping that through knowledge and technology transfer that we'll have farmers retain wetlands on the landscape as they act as sponges in dry years and in wet years. They can retain water on the landscape, or they can absorb water, and so important too for carbon sinks. So yeah, part of our extension will be to make sure that farmers understand the importance of these wetlands. I'll leave you with the sounds of the wetland.